Hey there, my name is Andrew Dugas. If you're like me, when I first fell in love with yoga, there was no place then and still now where you can do like a training, like a school, like a college, like a course, like a certification, like a degree, where you could just learn as much as you could possibly learn, almost like an apprenticeship, about yoga, about the practice, about the stuff that we do that makes our bodies feel better, that sort of brings all this joy and peace and serenity and control. It helps us deal with stress, gets us stronger, gets us flexibler, all that stuff. All the amazing positive benefits of this practice. How do you learn about it? Well, without a guru, what do you do? And so the only real place, the venue, the structure to have people learn as much as they can has been teacher trainings. That's why I took a teacher training. I had no interest in being a teacher at all. Of yoga, I was a classical musician. I just knew that the practice made me feel great. I saw the potential, and realized I didn't know anything, and I wanted to know as much as I possibly could. Fast forward 20 some odd years, people are badgering me to have my own teacher training, and when I wrote this teacher training, I got to ask myself, what do I want to teach? What do I care about? What isn't out there? There's lots of teacher trainings out there. I've helped write some of them, I've delivered others, and so when we're developing our own style, we call this style the Yoga Better style, what do we want to focus on, and how is the course going to be different? And there's a few really important ways, but there's two things you should know about trainings in general. The first is, if you love the practice of yoga, but you don't really want to know as much as you possibly can about it, it's going to be hard to teach. And so if you want to teach, even if you don't like studying, it's going to be important that you know what you're talking about, because you have the health of every student in your class literally in your hands. And we want to treat that with the privilege and the responsibility that it is. We want to respect it. We want to honor that trade. But if you do want to know as much as you possibly can, this stuff is understandable. We just have to figure out a way to learn it, and we all learn differently. Most of the things that we think are mysterious, although there's plenty that we don't know, most of it we do. It is an understandable thing about how your knee functions and why there might be some sensation versus other. Why certain kinds of what most people call alignment, we just call angles, body positions, orientations. Some instructions work better than others to keep your knee safe. Well, if you don't know how the knee works, we can't possibly answer the question, how do I get stronger legs? How do I deal with dysfunction or weakness, stuckness? And just like our practice, who cares if you ever know 100% about every part of the body? The way our course is designed, it's a lot of data, but much more important than jamming as much data as we possibly can into your head, it's about impacting the quality of your thinking. And if we can change that, if we can create new tools about how you learn, how you acquire new data, how you approach problems, how you pry open things that have been stuck for a long time, then after the course, you continue to grow. It's not like you only grow when you're inside this little bubble of the Yoga Better training. And then we get to have this experience called, I'm better next year than I was last year. I can be a better teacher, I can be a better leader, a better communicator. I can be better at troubleshooting the problem in my right knee. I can be better at getting stronger or more mobile. I can get better at pushing the yoga practice of the whole world, like what it is that we all do, forward, evolving it. There's a reason that medicine doesn't look the same as it does 400 years ago. It's because we allow it to evolve. There are people that push it. As a matter of fact, we don't allow it to stagnate. We make it grow. And that's all we do here at Yoga Better, is we apply curiosity, skepticism, criticism, infinite inquisitiveness. We live for questions and really, really great inquiries. And we love sharing. We love sharing, and what you guys need to know about our business, and we think it's so important, we want you to take this teacher training. You look at the price, you say, they're just in it for the money. And I can promise you this, we do this for a living. We don't give away almost anything for free. But what we can promise you is we don't do this for the money. So what I want you to have the experience of, and what we promise you'll have the experience of, if you take one of the two options for our teacher training, is that you will regularly have this feeling that the thing I just heard, the hour-long section or the exercise I just did, or this one insight into my life, I would have paid $3,000 for that. That one thing, absolutely. And then everything else is icing. And I want you to have that experience dozens of times in the course. That's my commitment. So what are the two options? We have two ways you can take the teacher training now. The first is the normal way, which will actually be a hybrid Zoom and in-person, where Zoom is here to stay, more or less, for most of us. And I really want to have that opportunity. We really like it. It really works well. And so we'll be doing the in-person teacher training at Yoga Better Studio. This will start in late June. Check out the website for all the details. And those are on Wednesday nights. If you want to take via Zoom, we'll have this exact setup where everything is redundant. You get to hear me just like this, and the classroom gets to hear your questions. You get to engage and interact as much as you would if you were in person. And for those of you that don't feel comfortable being in a room with a bunch of other people, or you live in a place where it's just not possible, we had in the last course people in Dallas, Marathon, Texas, out near Big Bend, and in New Jersey, all at the same time. How amazing that you get to take the course and you get to participate, you get the community, and you don't have to be here in Houston. We have every Wednesday night and 7 Saturdays over the course of 5 months. That's the structure of the standard course. But we have another option that will actually be ongoing, and this is to take that Yoga Better training online. It's an entirely online, self-paced, you do it on your own course. We give you 2 to 5 new videos every week. We give you a practice to do 6 days a week, a structure to support you, and some check-ins with Andrea and I. It's not a regular thing. It's not a weekly thing. But you're not 100% by yourself. But you have the videos, and you have a year to go through all of the videos. And so we give them to you with support structure throughout the week, and then you have plenty of time to make things up. And you have a year to take the test. At the end of both courses, we give you a test. For those of you taking the online training only, you pass the test. We got one more step for you. Then we'll have a intensive here in Houston or around the Houston area, unless Larry Train gets us to go to the Bahamas or something fun like that. We have those intensives. We'll schedule those once a year, where you come to Houston, I look at you, I put you on the spot, we do the work to actually test you as a teacher, then you get your certification after those intensives. So if you do the online training, it's a 2-step process to be certified as a Yoga Bed instructor, but I don't have a degree. And so consider that our commitment in doing all this work to develop, distribute, and have you guys take the Yoga Better training is that the certification at the end of the course will be this thing that supports you, that buoys your career, except as somebody who loves learning and doesn't have a degree himself, it's the information that's going to make the difference. Who cares if you get a certification? No one can tell you that you know a thing. And it turns out that if you know what you're talking about, the world listens. And you'll be able to, if you want to make a living, make a living. If you want to make a difference in the world, you can make a difference in the world. And so no pressure to take the test, no pressure to take the intensives. We want to make it worth your time. We always encourage people to take the test. But it's the knowledge, it's the thinking, it's the transformation, and how we just interface with this thing that is really sold as a mystery called yoga. And here at Yoga Better, all that mystery, all that confusion, we try to dissolve with clear thinking, testability, and hard work. We would absolutely love to see you guys in the course. Please join us if you're doing the in-person here in June, either in Houston or via Zoom, or when we launch the online teacher training. Let us know what you think, Andrew at yogabetter.com. And as always, keep practicing, keep thinking.